Because again, you are being deceived. No, go to school seriously, gain knowledge. If you have to gain a degree, go for the degree. Go, be the best. Be the best student you can be. Go to school, gain knowledge, be an expert. Now, in this last week message, we saw how the knowledge you need to get is the knowledge about spiritual things. Because the war that the enemy is warring against you is a spiritual war. It's not a physical. So the kind of education you have had is no help for you. Because your biology is not going to help you. Your math is not going to help you. What's going to help you is to know how the spiritual world operates, how it functions. And so you need to educate yourself, and you need to embrace that with the most serious that you're able to get. And so, because Jesus understood what it was, when he was here, if you look at his example, when he established his school, number one, he told his disciple, do not go to the school of the Pharisee or of the Sadducee. Go to my school. My school is authentic. Theirs is fake. So, go to my school. And guess what now? He was a son of God. He was God in the flesh. Yet, he kept them for 3 years, teaching them 3 years. So if it took him 3 years to teach these people, and they're going full time, how long do you think it's going to take you to know, to gain all the knowledge that you need to be able to deal with the kind of war that's coming against you? Again, you are dealing with somebody who is well organized, very experienced, who is relentless, who is not going to give away. And guess what also? He's fighting you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So it would be foolish to neglect knowledge. As a matter of fact, that's written in Hosea 4:6 say, since you have neglected. Neglect means you are doing it, but you're not putting all your efforts in it. So to do it at 50% is not good enough. You must do it 100%. You must love God with all your heart, not just half of your heart. Does it make sense? So number one, gain knowledge. Number two, you must have a prayer life. Consistent with what you are dealing with. You need to have a prayer life that's consistent with what you're dealing with. And so, concerning your prayer life, you need to think about a few things. Hey James, can you still see me? Concerning a prayer life strategy, you need to have a personal aspect of it. And then you have to have a household aspect of it. And then you must have a church aspects of it. Personal, let's say you choose to do Daniel. You choose to do Daniel lifestyle. So you pray 3 hours, three times a day or 2 hours a day. We're talking about system. So that's a prayer life style strategy. But you don't want to stop there, because if you stop there, that would be basic strategy. Intermediate strategy will involve some kind of association, 2 or 3 people praying together. And so praying by yourself is not enough. And then household strategy, let me call it home group. But what I mean by that is, let me call it a family prayer. I talked about this a while ago. Basically, this consists in organizing, influencing the family where you live to have daily time of prayer. That includes sharing the good news, or sharing the analysis of events in light of the Bible, right? So, like for example, we just talked about, the mark of the beast. We talked about, we are in the end time. You need to find a framework where to share this information for people to be ready. There's going to be a lot of martyrdom. There's going to be a lot of persecution. There's going to be, a lot of things are happening. So you need to create an opportunity in the household where you live to share about these things so that people are informed. And then you make it part of that prayer time, because usually when it's prayer time, people don't necessarily argue, they are in attitude where they're inviting God's in environment. So you share those things around the table, but put in a system. Like for example, you could have, like if you are family that share a meal together, before you maybe you eat dinner together, put the time of the prayer, around that time. You cultivate that habit, make it a routine, a family routine. Does it make sense? And then at the church level, the church must be also a house of prayer. As a church, you can no longer afford not to be a house of prayer. And as a church, we need to establish a 24 hours strategy for prayer. Because there's not a time during which the enemy is not attacking you. Amen? So, for a church setting, during the day, and then there is during the night. There is a first watch second watch, and then fourth watch. Okay, so the first watch, it goes from 6 to 9, 9 to 12, 12 to 3, 3 to 6. And so at the church level, that's where you are plugging yourself into a system structure that causes you to be covered on a 24 hours basis. So, in other words, now we have here a prayer personal, family, and church. If you are really convinced that you are dealing with a foe who is relentless, who is experienced, who can throw. Who is experienced, who is very organized, who wants you and your family and your children, guess what? At least those are the things that you can do. If you're not doing that, you have not heard the message. Remember how you can hear a message, but it rests in your head, but it doesn't come down here? If you don't do this, that means you didn't get the message. If you receive the message, this is what you do. Amen. And so, with this in mind, one of the things that I encourage you to do today as part of your homework is to pick up a shift which is good for you to commit to pray. Because when you complete this training, we're gonna also be committed to put into practice everything that we learn that we need to do, right? And so, as part of completing this training, and so if you choose then to have a watch, for those who go to work, you know how you are faithful to your work, right? The same faithfulness you have to your work, is the same faithful, at least the same faithfulness. You need to have about this, because we are talking about being involved in a war that's targeting you as a person. It's your life, that is under attack. And so you must be committed to go to war for your own safety, for your own survival. And so if we can have a group of people that are determined to go to war for themselves like that, then for the church house of prayer, if we have just 80 people, right? How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If we have 80 people, we will have a church that's covering the 24 hours that make up the day. Such a church will be more effective than a church that has 10,000 members, but maybe who pray just one shift out of 24. Do you see that? If you're praying just one shift, you are 10,000, and another group is 80 people, they are praying the whole day. Those who are praying the whole day, they are doing a better job protecting themselves than you, who is protecting your shift, but the remainder of the time you are open. Does it make sense? Yeah. So that's, if I gave you a homework question about, how do you respond to now realizing a way that you are being attacked by the enemy in the way that he's doing it, that's, I will expect you to answer that question this way. Does it make sense? Okay, good. I believe we can close this lesson here. James.